Here's a company, we can't tell you what it does, we can't tell you what it makes, who runs it, or whether it exists yet. What we can tell you is it's worth $10 a share, and you should buy it now, before you find out any of that. This is a blank check, and somebody is selling it to you. Again, let's read the label. There isn't one. That's the product. You've seen this one. 4 years ago, Wall Street sold about 600 of these blank checks in a single year. $144 billion, handed to sponsors who would decide, later, what to spend it on. Then it popped, the way these things pop. By 2024, the machine had nearly shut off. 57 of them, under $9 billion. A rounding error. Everyone wrote it off. Everyone was early. Because in 2025, the machine switched back on. 138 blank checks. $25.8 billion. Nearly triple the year before. 2 out of every 5 companies going public did it this way. And 2026 is running faster. 117 of them, about $23 billion in the first half alone. 6 months in, it's nearly caught all of last year. Same machine, same bottle. There's just a new sticker on it. The sticker says, "This time it's selective. This time the sponsors are serious. The deals are vetted. The standards are higher. This time is different." It's a lovely sticker. It's the same sticker that was on the bottle in 2021, when the standards were, reportedly, higher. So before you buy the sticker, let's take apart the bottle. There are 3 people in this story. Watch which one is holding the bottle when the music stops. Start with the man playing the music. In the trade, he's the sponsor, the one who raises the money, finds a company to merge with, and gets you to vote yes. For this, the sponsor is paid. The standard fee is 20% of the blank check itself, 1 share in 5, for a nominal investment of about $25,000. $25,000. Roughly a used car. For a fifth of a shell that will raise a couple $100 million. It's called the promote, and you're on the other side of it. And here's the part the sticker leaves off. The promote pays out when the deal closes, not when it works, not when the company ever makes $1, when it closes. So the sponsor gets his fifth for finding a company, any company, and walking it through the door. His incentive isn't a good deal. His incentive is a deal. And a blank check that expires worthless if he doesn't spend it tends to get spent. So what's actually in the bottle? You put in $10, it sits in a trust earning interest, which sounds safe, and is, right up until the merger. Because when the deal closes, the sponsor's free fifth, plus the warrants, plus the banker's cut, all come out of your $10. Somebody measured this. A landmark study went share by share. For every share supposedly worth $10, only about $6.67 was actually there, in cash. The other $3.33 had already evaporated. Mystery juice. 1/3 water before you unscrew the cap. Meet the second person. The professional saw all of this coming and built a trade on it. Here's the trade. You buy the blank check at $10. Before the merger, every shareholder gets a vote, and the right to hand the shares straight back for the full 10 plus the interest earned in trust. So the professionals buy in, pocket the free warrants stapled to the deal, and then, right before the merger, take their 10 back. Heads, they keep a free bet on the upside. Tails, they get every dollar back with interest. There is no tails. They redeem and they walk. And they walk in a crowd. Last cycle, the typical blank check merger watched most of its trust cash leave before the deal even closed. A median of about 70% redeemed. In a quarter of them, over 95%. The money that was supposed to fund the company left with the people who'd never hold it. So who's still holding? The one person who believed the sticker. Meet the third person. You know him. Norm didn't redeem. Norm read the sticker. This time it's selective. And believed it, because it was printed in a confident font. Norm is still in. Which means Norm now owns a slice of a company that just handed its sponsor a fifth of itself, watched most of its cash walk out the door, and is backed by about $6.67 on every 10 he put in. The professionals got their money back. The sponsor got his fifth. Norm got the mystery juice. Here's the part of the video where we open one old bottle and check what was inside. In 2020, a blank check merged with an electric truck startup called Nikola. Within weeks, it was worth $28 billion, briefly more than Ford. There was a beautiful video, the truck gliding down a road, powerful and silent. It was silent because it was off. They'd rolled it down a hill. The founder was convicted of fraud and sentenced to 4 years, then pardoned before serving a day. The company filed for bankruptcy last year, $47 million left, and essentially no revenue. Contents: TBD. The contents were gravity. Nikola wasn't the exception. It was the genre. The companies that went public through blank checks in 2021 fell on average about 64% in their first year as real companies. In 2023 alone, at least 21 of them went bankrupt, taking about $46 billion of investor money with them. WeWork, worth $9 billion, gone. An electric scooter company worth $2.5 billion, down to $3 million in the bank the day it filed. A whole scrapyard of electric truck logos, blinking out one at a time. That was the last sequel. This is the reboot. So back to the sticker. This time it's selective. And it's fair to say this cycle looks calmer. Fewer of the wildest deals, more patience, sponsors who talk about discipline. But selective is carrying a lot of weight in that sentence. Nobody has remeasured this cycle's bottle, but the recipe hasn't changed. The promote is still a fifth, the fees still come out of your 10, and the study that did the measuring found a third of the juice already gone. What got selective wasn't the deal, it was the marketing. So, who got paid? The sponsor, a fifth of the shell for a used car and a signature. The professionals, their money back with interest, plus a free bet on the way out. The bankers and the exchanges, a fee on every step, both directions. Who paid? Norm, the one who read, "This time it's selective," and heard a promise where there was a sticker. Everyone who got paid chose to be in the deal. Norm just chose to believe there was one. None of this is hidden. The promote is in the filing. The redemptions are in the filing. The $6.67 is in a study somebody published. A blank check isn't illegal, and it isn't always a trap. Now and then the mystery juice is fine. But you're being asked to buy the bottle before the label is printed, on the word of the man who gets paid the second you say yes. So when the sticker says "Trust me," this time it's selective. Look down, and notice who's holding the bottle when the music stops. It's you. Snake Oil Finance. Read the label, especially the bottles that don't have one yet. There's a new one every week. Subscribe if you'd like to know what's inside before you've already bought it.